Oh, hopefully today's a nice, easy demo for anyone to try. Let me see. Let me quickly. Okay, let me just switch the cameras around here a little bit. So we're basically gonna make one of these little scoops. And if you just search on YouTube for Richard Raffin and scoops, he has a couple of videos up on them. He has claimed to make thousands and thousands of these when he first started turning, and basically said it basically kept him in food and rent when he was first starting. So it's a nice little thing. Basically, you start almost similar to turning a goblet, and then you just add a handle to it, and you do the hollowing, and then you cut it to the right shape that you want for a scoop. So that's what we're gonna be starting with. So I'm starting here with a piece of, pretty sure this is, I don't know what this is. Might be cherry, might be mahogany. It's something out of my wood pile. So let's just find out what it is. So we're gonna start rounding it off. Yeah. There we go. If anyone's interested, we got our end of fiscal year bonus at work. So I got myself a new D-Way roughing gouge.
Nice.
Very nice. On a Thompson handle, just so I'm not too loyal. Okay, so we have this round now, and I'm gonna make it a make it so it fits into the chuck. That should do it. This is a record SC4 chuck, which just happens to turn the opposite direction of a Nova, Supernova 2 chuck, which is a little confusing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark. So I'm going to have the scoop part be about to there, and the handle to be about that long, maybe, give or take. So I'm going to shape the scoop part just a little bit. I'm going to make a little bit bell shape. Keep it down for the front a little bit. I know what we're shooting for. Rest a little bit. me see if we can.
Hey, Tom, can you put everyone on mute so every time there isn't a noise, it doesn't go to that person's camera?
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I think everybody's muted. Yep. Okay. So. Just up a little bit more. Yeah, so the basic shape of the scoop I wanted. Now save a little time. I'm going to drill out some of the center. Let's see. Of course, I think this is a 1 1/16 inch bit. It's my pepper grinder body bit. So this is a carbide. I think it's a Freud. So I need to drill about that deep. That's basically right before the little joint there. I'll stop and check a couple times just to make sure. Slow down the speed.
What speed do you drill at?
This is about 550.
Hey, John, could you put your mic on mute? Okay.
It is on mute.
Let's see. Go a little bit deeper. Okay, looks good. So now I'm drilled down just about to the bottom. Not quite, because I'm going to be able to take the tip of the Forstner bit, that little hole in that it gives you, be able to take that out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just make sure, looks like it came off a little bit, it moved a little bit when I took the tailstock off for some reason. So I'm just going to make sure it's trued up here. There we go. Starch. I'm gonna start hulling with a spindle gouge. Does everyone do the back hollowing that like Richard Raffin does? I've never been able to get it without almost killing myself. But for anyone else who's been able to do it. So I'm going for maybe about, I don't know, little more than an eighth wall thickness. Where I am. Okay, still about 3/4 of an inch to go. Wall thickness feels good through there. Let's see. Let's see if maybe this other view might be better. If this works or whether I just get in the way. For this gouge. So switch over. Go for a bowl gouge for a little bit. Okay, almost there. The wall thickness feels good all the way through there. It's pretty much the same. I think I'll switch over now to a round nose scraper. Make sure I get a little nub on the bottom. This is definitely mahogany. Come from the dust. Good. So that little nub down there, which I want to get rid of. So hard getting this off blind. There we go, got most of it off. Okay. So now I'm gonna do a little quick sanding just to show you don't want to stick your finger in something that deep. So what I normally do is I have this little dowel made up, the slot cut in on my bandsaw, and some people fit in there, at least did yesterday. There we go. Roll it around. Kind of speed down a bit. Just a little bit of touch up sanding. Now, the nice thing is you will be able to sand it once you cut the scoop part out. You can actually reach it and sand it by hand. It won't be that hard because it's all green side. Okay. So I'll try. I've sanded the outside and everything. Not going to waste time with that right now. So next thing is to start cutting the handle part. So I'm going to switch the smaller tool rest. If you want to see a different view, just let me know. I can always switch cameras around.
Will you use a jam chuck to keep that steady while you're cutting the handle?
Not a jam chuck. I'm going to use my my cone center to keep that steady. Hopefully the cone center's, yep, cone center will work. Get a little bit bigger than I have a bigger cone center, which I can use. So yes. So what I'm going to use from here is the tool I set down and immediately lost. Here it is. Cut the end of the handle. Back to the spindle gouge. No trouble, turn like this, you have to do this left-handed. So there's a little detail up on this end.
Tom, when you get a chance, would you mind changing the camera angle to the top?
Sure. There we go. So this part is very similar to making a goblet, making the stem. It's going to be a little bit heavier than a goblet stem, maybe. And you're trying to look for something that's comfortable to hold. Yeah. Working room. V cuts with a skew. Release it. Knife needs to tear the fibers. There we go. So we're almost there. So now you have to cut the shape of the scoop actually in there. Actually, one thing I didn't do, but you can finish. Usually I'll sand this, taper this edge down a lot more. Forgot to do that. I can do that later on. So now you can cut the scoop shape a couple different ways. You can use a coping saw or a band saw. I find the easiest way is I just use my disc sander to do that. So oh, my camera's backwards. That's interesting. Do everything here. There we go. So I didn't know about that sooner. So I'm gonna clear off here a little bit and bring my disc sander over. There we go. Let's use a belt sander, but this one serves me well. So. Okay, so what I'm going to basically do is I'm going to sand straight in like this to start with until I have this down to about that low. And then I'll actually make a curve and blend it all together. So. So oh, shoot. A bit too aggressive. But anyhow, sorry about that. You can get the idea though. We would continue basically running this down like that until we got it down to where, until it looked good. But oh well. I think I got a little bit too thin there. That's my problem. So if you can see right there, I got way too thin. A little bit too much off of there, and that's why it snapped. But anyhow, hopefully you get the idea. That's most of the turning, and basically I like turning let's say the goblet. And then I would finish it with probably some walnut oil or something like that. And it would look like that. In the end.
Get the idea, Tom. Thanks.
Yeah, sorry about that. It worked last night. So if this spin down, I can move this and get on part B.
So Tom, what would your other option be? Just to freehand it on a bandsaw or?
Yep. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can do it on
right.
bandsaw. You can you know, if you want to do a coping saw or something like that, you can do that.
Or a coping saw?
Yep.
Probably be a little safer.
Richard Raffin likes to do it on his bandsaw. That's his
He does.
preferred method. Yep.
Does he make a jig to hold it, or does he just freehand it?
He just freehands it. But you know, he's a production turner. He doesn't take anything. If there's something to take an extra 2 seconds, he won't do it. You know,
Right. He's still got all his fingers?
he does. I believe so.
Okay.
There are other ones that don't, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That make a nice little gift.
yeah, and they're pretty quick to make too. I mean, we're
Right.
a little bit more than less than half an hour into this demo, and that would have been done in another 5 minutes.
Sure. Yeah.
It needs a little bit more sanding, but
Yeah, it's a good idea. Thank you.
I'll move on to the second one, which is the coffee scoop style. Give me 1 minute. I gotta switch a couple things over here.
Hey, Tom, for a lot of stuff like that, I definitely use negative rate scrapers, and I actually saturate it with walnut oil, and it helps with the negative rate scraping to relax the fibers or whatever. But well, Stuart Batty said something that really caught with me, that negative rate scrapers should be thought of as a abrasive.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard him say
So
that.
I've been really finessing a lot with the negative rate scrapers, and then I can go to a much finer grit. But if I saturate with walnut oil, I get even that much better a finish. So I just thought I'd share that.
Thank you. Okay. So somewhere here, I thought I had my. I'm looking for my 3/8 full gouge. I had it here somewhere. It's in a different handle than I normally have it in. I guess we'll just have to use the big one. I had it in my hand before we started this whole thing. Let's see. Okay. So what this is like, so basically you're turning out some very small end grain bowl here, and then just the handle. And I actually, you put a little little tenon on the handle, which you drill a hole and just let it poke through just a little bit. And that's how you glue it in. Nice to use different contrasting woods for this. But yeah, so let's start off again. I have this, which is maybe walnut, maybe not. Really not sure. Come out of scrap pile. That's what's nice about these little projects like this. You just use up wood that you have lying around. First thing is just square this up a little bit, screw it up. And shape is up to you. You can make it straight-sided, or want the sides to go out a little bit, that works. Or if you want to do it so it closes in on the top a little bit, that's all up to you. There's no real rule. So let's start with let me see. Take that down a little bit more as far as diameter. And this is end grain, grain's going this way, so the spindle turning rules, not bowl turning. Let's see. That's about right. So just for fun, that's about 1.5 inches in diameter, maybe a little bit more. Okay, just give myself an idea of where I'm going to. Give me a minute. Okay, now we're going to start hollow this little thing out. I'm going to start with this is a 3/8 bowl gouge, having a shorter handle, a little bit easier to deal with. Zoom this in a little bit. And again, since it's a end grain, you're going from the center out. High. Oh. where we are. Okay, so it's still pretty thick down there. And about well, maybe about halfway down. So I'm gonna use my spindle gauze and sort of drill out the middle. Okay. Almost down far enough. Okay. Switch over to another. This is a negative rank round nose scraper. The D-Way one from actually it's from Boxmaster Tools, which is now also D-Way, or vice versa, however you want to look at it. Center out. So yep. Go. A little bit of a nub there. Maybe a good idea is for getting that little nub out. That's the hardest part. Getting the little center nub without tearing it.
Hey, Tom, try to put your gouge underneath the nub in the center and come up on it instead of trying to rub across it.
Okay.
You can usually get it off that way. Just got to do very gingerly.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I've actually got a hole there now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's mostly gone.
And start off on center, go underneath, and then come up on it.
Okay, there we go. That's pretty good. Gonna do a little quick sanding. So we avoid the a repeat. Let's see. Okay. Okay.
Hey, Tom, let me.
Yep.
get my video. For sanding inside of things like that, I made this basically a little sander unit that I can put in a drill,
Uh-huh.
and basically it's Velcro stuck on here, and then I can put a little strip of sandpaper on there and spin it. So, you know,
Nice. How do you get the Velcro to stick?
contact cement,
Oh, okay.
or you can use adhesive Velcro, you know.
Nice. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna part this off now and turn it over and do a jam chuck to finish the bottom. Get a little bit closer with the gouge, but let's see, a little closer gouging it out. With a cleaner cut. There we go.
So Tom, when I'm doing my shot glasses and stuff and I'm parting them off, I have a parting tool that's at an angle and I do the cut off so it's away from the part. So that way you don't end up with a little dimple hole thing.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if you can see it.
I can't see the, oh, it's bent, yeah.
It's definitely, it's at an angle. And so the lower side would be near the piece and the point cuts it off so that way you leave a little positive material.
Okay. Actually, I'm not gonna even bother to jam check on this one. So it came out pretty good. Well, normally I would turn this down a little bit and just do a little bit of a jam check on there, and I could send off the bottom a little bit more if I needed it. This one's not bad, so I'm gonna leave that where it is. And move on to the handle. So. Let's check off. Okay. There it is. Okay, so now I'm going from the record chuck to the Nova chuck. Just gonna hold that square and bring up my tailstock. Yeah. A little bit more crooked than I wanted. That's better. Okay, so basically now what we're going to be doing is just turning the handle part. So I'm doing this orientation. Go down, make nice, simple. And the big thing is you're going to want to undercut this joint so that you get a clear, you get a good glue joint between the two. And as you can see in here, there's a little tenon which goes to the side. Make sure it's everything just stays registered and a little bit more glue area. It's so dusty. Okay. So. Round this off. Really wild grain in there. So make sure I undercut this quite a bit. So on the rounded part of the bowl. There we go. Make sure. I want to make sure that that nub is at least as long as the bowl is wide. So that's looks good. This part off. Okay. Quick Oh. A little bit. The clearing. Okay. Quick, run it over a little bit. So when it sticks through, you don't feel anything sharp. So if undercut this, now this should fit well against the side of the bowl. Now what I do, get back at the go grab a drill. Okay, everybody has probably about 5 of these little drill indexes around. So what I do is I just find which one, instead of turning to a specific diameter, I just find one that fits. There we go. So 15/64. There we go. And you can pick where you want it on the, yeah, about around halfway.
And you'd use a brad point or a Forstner bit, right?
Brad point, yep. Keep it centered on the round surface. Just go nice and slow. So that's done. Now that fits. So you can see it's a pretty good joint around here. Since it's undercut, let's glue that right in there. And that's your little coffee scoop. Okay.
Very good, Tom.
Looks good, Tom.
And the trick is not to let it go through too far. I may send that off a little bit more. It's a little bit through more than I want. So I'll send that down a little bit more just to make sure it's just barely protruding.
Nicely done.
So, but there we go. 1.5 scoops.
Nice, nice. Another nice gift.
So, yeah, I really like these a lot. I'm gonna try to put some more of these for our Christmas show.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, great job. Thank you very much.
well, thank
Thank
you.
you. It's great.
Good job,